Hi, welcome to Just Common Sense. I am Brian Harrison, and I got Jerry on the line tonight. Say hi.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, everybody likes Jerry. I give him the applause. Everybody was excited when he got on.
Yay.
They give him the applause. All right, guys. Obviously, we're going to be talking about a couple things tonight. First thing I want to do is we're going to talk about the balloons or the object or the aliens or whatever the case may be, because they can't come up with a decision what it is. They're actually not denying aliens. I couldn't believe that, Jerry. I heard it today. It was ridiculous. When the Pentagon's sitting there and they're saying, well, we're not denying it, they can't even deny it. They can't say a word. They're not saying one word about this.
That was one of the sillier things I've heard in a long time.
I know. It was absolutely crazy. So, and then if they were aliens from another planet, are you that stupid to shoot them down? If they could go from here from one planet to another, they might just be able to push a button and annihilate us. Oh, that's all kidding aside, though. That's just how stupid they are up there. All right, so we want to talk about a couple things. I want to talk about this, first of all. I want to talk about the first balloon. When it went across, it should have been shot down in Alaska. We've talked about this. We've talked about how long it took to get across. Was it 8 or 7 days, I believe it was, something like that, to get across our country?
Something like that, yeah.
Yes, and now they know for a fact that actually it was hovering over Montana longer than any other place, so they know they have movement. They can move this thing around. It had propellers. It actually was controlled by the Chinese government. Sitting over these things and filming all this is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. What's your thoughts, Sherry?
No, I agree with you. I just, I think it's ridiculous. And I mean, the fact that they're just, what they're saying shows that they have no respect for the American people because, one, the first balloon, we can't shoot it down because it could fall on something and it could hurt somebody. And it's like, but then the last couple that they've shot down have been over areas that were a lot more populated than Montana or Wyoming or, something like that. And then the fact that they've supposedly shot down 3 or 4 in the last few days either tells me that there's been more up there that they didn't know about or, basically, we're not even really sure that they're actually shooting something down. They're saying they have, but there's no video like there was with the first one.
Right. And that's another thing. They could just be, these are all theories, guys, and we know how conspiracy theories are, but I want to say it. It could be something where they're just saying, we shot this down trying to get credibility for the failure they did last time. Again, I feel that it could be real. But again, we're not getting any evidence. We're getting nothing from Joe Biden. Oh, before we talk about that, though, I do want to mention something. Chuck Schumer. This is how bright Chuck Schumer is. I just want to say he's so intelligent. I want Jerry to understand how intelligent Chuck Schumer is. He was on TV today, and they were talking about the balloon, and Chuck Schumer's going like this. He says, yes, they actually flew the balloon over, but we learned a lot from that balloon flying over. We actually learned a lot from it flying over, seeing it, how it moved and everything else. And then one news reporter said, well, they were also probably getting information from us through the cameras and everything. And Chuck Schumer said, yeah, but that's okay. But we learned a lot from them. I mean, really? Is that all you have, Chuck Schumer? Chuck Schumer,
we haven't learned squat from them.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it. I try not to cuss on my show and do all this, but right now I'm opening up because I'm furious with it. Chuck Schumer, you're an idiot, and you shouldn't be in that chair at all. Love to talk about Biden, too. Okay, I want to say it this way. For those of you who are out there working, when you do a bad job, what happens? You get reprimanded, or you get fired. Okay? So how many times has Joe Biden done a bad job? Many times. But you have people out there that are terrified. They don't know what's going on. They're hearing all these stories. And then is it Oklahoma, I think? They have a big explosion with the train exploding. And people were making all kinds of theories. That was a balloon that fell and all. You know what? They're actually making fun of Joe Biden all over TV right now and putting out there like, where's Joe Biden? We haven't heard from him about this.
Well, and I mean, you were the first one to bring it up.
I was
probably about a week or two ago about how he wouldn't even answer. And in the past, you and I have talked about how he doesn't answer questions, but then you pointed out that lately he's just not only not answering, but he's like literally turning his back on the press,
on the American people by doing that.
Yeah.
He's turning his back and spitting into your face, people. And until you wake up and see this, that's another story. But when you don't do a job, you get fired. This is a serious, serious problem that we're having with our so-known president up there. He's not doing his job at all. For not talking to the American people about something so serious, and it's not funny. People out there are actually laughing. A few people on the left up there, especially in the government up there, they're actually laughing. We saw the press secretary today. She was out there acting stupid. That being said, Biden's not even anywhere to be found, although he's putting a little post out there like, I'm doing such a great job. I'm getting ready to sell, what is it, another, what did I say was, how much more, 12, how many millions of barrels? Did I say
it's
earlier?
Millions. Yeah, I forget exactly, but it's millions.
More out of our strategic reserves is what he's getting ready to sell. Why? We're not getting it. He's selling it. Who's he selling it to? Probably China. This guy is incompetent. He should not be president. It's time to fire Joe Biden right now. Fire Joe Biden. Fire Joe Biden. Instead of saying the F word, Joe Biden, we'll change it to fire Joe Biden. That's the new word, guys. I want everybody in the stadiums and everybody out there, fire Joe Biden. Fire Joe Biden. That's what we need to start yelling out. We need to get shirts that say that and everything else. What do you think about that, Jerry?
Yeah, no, I agree with you, but unfortunately, it's not going to happen because we didn't win the Senate. So even if we did get an impeachment to go through the House, there's not going to be any Democrats that would have the courage of conviction to stand up and have him removed from office.
Fire your Democrats.
Yep, that would be good.
Guys, we are the American people in this country. We control this country. We're the ones that vote. We need to either vote these out or fire these guys, plain and simple. That's what we need to do. So it's time to take back our country, and enough is enough. And if they're not doing their job, it's time for them to go. So it's time to fire them, guys. Call your congressmen and women and start screaming on the phones and telling them that either do your job or you're out. That's what you got to do, guys. And I'm serious. It's gotten ridiculous. For something so serious, if the president can't come on and actually calm the American people down, and they're freaking out, they don't know what's going on, we're not asking you to tell us secrets. What we're asking you to do is show your face and say, here's what's going on. We're doing this, and doing our best. That's what a true leader does. And you know what? You're not a leader. You've had your chance. It's over for you, Joe Biden. You need to go. So time to impeach Joe Biden.
Well, he never has been a leader.
No.
I was watching a thing on Clarence Thomas the other day, and they were showing Joe Biden, and he was in charge of the Senate committee that was, deciding on, Clarence Thomas as a Supreme Court justice. And even though he was the head of the committee, he wasn't really a leader.
No. So we talked about this. We talked about what's going on here. People are scared. People are worried. We're not getting true answers from our government. I mean, there's all kinds of conspiracy theories going on out there. This is stuff we do not need. We do not need it at all because it really gets people scared and upset. So, otherwise, which thoughts? We're going to move on from that. Any ideas, Jerry? Anything else?
No, nothing we haven't already covered.
Okay. All right. So one other thing I heard about was in January, I think it was the 28th or 18th, something like that. It was laser lights that actually, they came down on Hawaii, they're saying, from a satellite. This is not something that's made up. These are laser lights. I heard about it on the news. I did a little research. I didn't write the date down, but it actually happened. They saw some lights And they're thinking it came from a satellite, and they're thinking it was a Chinese satellite. On the other side of that, we'll have to, guys, go do your research on that, find out that whole thing's crazy. But the other thing I want to talk about, too, is China is now saying, oh, well, we're having balloons from the U.S. flying over our airspace. And they always do that. They always try. They can't come up with something new. One minute they're threatening us, next minute they're doing something. That's just the Chinese government for you.
Yeah. But the thing is, they've been doing that for decades. So, they'll do whatever it takes to forward their agenda, move forward their agenda.
Yeah. I know. All right. What else you got to talk about, Jerry?
It's just kind of crazy. It's like this whole thing with the balloons. It's almost like they allowed it to happen. And then when they saw how angry people were, they were like, oh, well, let's show them how much we're doing. And now they're just shooting stuff down all over the place and claiming, oh, we shot this down and we shot. But now they're saying, well, we're not really sure what we shot down. And that's a flat out lie. That's, you don't shoot something down if you don't know what it is.
Absolutely.
And so, the fact that they're trying to now claim, that certain things they don't even know what it is, that's a lie.
Yeah.
And, I just, and then the other thing was too that, you talk about overkill. If these really are balloons, regardless whether they're weather balloons or anything like that, if we're using missiles and rockets and everything like that, that just, it's overkill, and it just kind of shows the rest of the world that, we're really not under control, that we're just, it's a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah. Well, we haven't had anything right here since he took over. Everything's been failing from Afghanistan, and just everything has been failing. Oh no, his jobs are doing great. The jobs look great. The job market looks great. That's the next thing you're going to hear from some liberals, but people were going back to work. A lot of things were happening. We have serious stuff going on right now, and he should be out there addressing that, and he's not. So.
No, exactly. And that's the thing, he really doesn't even know what to say. And, as far as the jobs coming back, well, of course, because you made everybody go home. And now that people are starting to go back to work, it's like he's not creating jobs. He just happens to be president when people are going back to work, but he's not creating any of these jobs. If you went out and said how many of these jobs are actually new jobs that didn't exist before he was president,
right?
Probably none.
Right. And then we already know he lies about the Republicans want to take Social Security and Medicare, which we talked about that the other night. Another lie.
Well, he's been a liar ever since he's been in Congress.
He has.
It's like, and it's proven too. His thing where he had to leave the presidential race for plagiarism, and they go back around that same time that. When people would ask him questions, he'd lie about his college experience, and he'd lie about his education, and lie about where he went to school, and lie about that he was at the top of his law class and everything, and none of it was true.
No,
he's just a flat out liar.
If you hear all the things he does, he's done this. He's done so many things. All the stuff that Joe Biden tells that he's in his younger life when he was doing things, I'm like, it's impossible. You'd be so busy, it'd be ridiculous. And it was just funny.
Yep.
Okay, if I said to Joe Biden, oh, yeah, I may have tap danced. Oh, no, I was a good tap dancer. That's what I did when I was younger. I was a tap dancer. Okay, and then I jumped out with my parachute. Oh, no, I did the same thing. Oh, no, but I was better at it than everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the funny thing that, he sits there and talks about how great he was at something, and some of it he's never even actually done. Not only wasn't he not any good, but he's never even done it.
Yeah, I know. I know. So
pretty soon, if we let him keep going, he'll be talking about how he flew the jet that shot down the first balloon.
That's actually really good. Oh, gosh. Yes, I know. You gave the orders, Joe Biden, to shoot that balloon down and all these other balloons,
after
right?
It accomplished its mission.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's like closing the barn after the horse has already left. Barn tour.
Exactly.
Oh, God. This is so crazy. And it's not, and I'm laughing, but it's so serious right now. Now, we want to talk about another thing. People are panicking a little bit because guess what? They have now told the Americans and people to leave Russia. Now these conspiracy theories are going on about that because now people are saying there are people truly out there saying, well, these, I can go through a lot of them, but they're going, these balloons are coming from Russia and they got nukes in them. I've heard that. And then all of a sudden, these balloons are coming from China and Russia and China are involved. And we got to get out of there because we're about ready to have World War III. And that's possible. I don't know. I mean, we got a lot going, not the balloon part, but we got a lot going on over there. Who knows what's going on over there? I don't trust what this administration's doing. I mean,
No,
I
I
have
agree.
never, I'll be honest, I have never seen us this close. We got the failure of Ukraine, what he's doing over there. Oh, yeah, he's doing a good job. No, he's giving up all of our weapons. We're going to send so many weapons and money over there. It's ridiculous. I mean, Jerry and I talked about in the beginning about sending planes, doing a few things over there that would have helped them more, but they didn't do that. They should have done that
Well,
in the
we're
beginning.
we're at a year in this war, and it should have never gotten to be even 5 or 6 months. I mean, we should have it. Whether we like Ukraine or not, we should have never allowed another country, any country. It just happened to be Russia this time, but
Yeah.
any country to just go in and invade another country and kill its citizens and everything like that. And that's one thing that America's always stood for is doing the right thing and
Right.
stopping aggression. And we should have been giving weapons. Now, as far as putting people on the
Right.
ground,
No,
yeah, if the Europeans aren't doing it, then
no.
we sure don't need to be over there putting our own people on the ground. But as far as equipment, we should have given them everything that they needed to beat Russia.
Yeah, and if the Europeans were involved in all this, let them take the lead, and then we need to be there, obviously, at that point, but let them take the lead of this, because that's where they are right now, and they need to deal with this as well. So,
Yep.
and I mean, every time I'm hearing the president of Ukraine come back and say, he's asking all the time, I need more money, I need more weapons. He's asking every country he can for that. And yeah, I hope he wins. I mean, yeah, I'd love to see Russia just back out of there and this whole thing be over with. But you got Putin, who's obviously he's a monster out there. I'm going to say it. But again, you don't go invading a country. They weren't even bothering him. They were doing nothing to him. And all of a sudden he just goes in there because he wants the old Russia back. He's living this wild dream in his mental state of his head up there. And I don't know. Putin's kind of he's crazy in the head. We'll say it. I mean, even his own generals and everybody else, they're scared of him.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, like I said, if it comes down to it for the Russian people up there, throw a coup, throw it over, just throw a coup over them, you know what I mean? Go in there.
Yep.
Do the right thing. If you have to do it, you need to do it. I mean, protect yourselves, because those Ukrainian, they're your brothers and sisters. They're part of you. And that's
Another good example of a government that disarms the population.
There you go. Good point, Jerry. Good point.
I mean, it's like, so, I mean, you look at a lot of these countries where things are going wrong, and a lot of them are, countries where, it's either difficult or nearly impossible for the average citizen to own firearms. And so, then the government is oppressive and overbearing, and there's nothing that people can do about it.
Yeah. Absolutely. I probably need to change that on I was thinking about this just a minute ago. I probably should change my background on all my social media sites and say, fire Joe Biden, and maybe I could start spreading the word around and get that. We start getting shirts made and all that.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. I think it's sad, but it's funny at the same time. I think it would be something that would be really good to put out there.
Oh, no, I agree. And so and I agree that he needs to go, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, we don't have anybody with, like I said, the credibility to actually do their job and make sure that he does go.
Well, and then you got, obviously, who's next, Miss Giggles. But after that,
Yep.
hey, they're talking about get rid of both of them. I don't care. Then who takes over?
Yep.
McCarthy. Just for you guys to know, who takes over if Joe Biden and Harris were out of there? Yeah, I've had some people go, I don't know. Speaker of the House, guys. I just want somebody. I don't care. I'll be honest. I just want somebody more stable because they know what's going on. And they can handle this stuff. I don't even care if there's a Democrat in there right now doing their job, handling this, talking to the American people and doing their job. That's what they need to do.
Well, see, but that's one thing too. That
I know.
Going back, he's not talking to anybody, and he's not, putting people at ease, and he's not telling them, "Hey, I got this. Don't worry about it." He's just ignoring people and turning his back, walking away, not making comments, and it's just. And there's a lot of people out there that are going, "Where is this guy?"
Oh yeah. Do you remember when the press was talking? They caught him off camera talking to one of the guys. He said, "Don't worry about it. I'm Joe Biden. Nobody messes with a Biden." You know what, exactly. Joe Biden? This is called America. Yes, it's time. We're going to mess with you. It's time, Joe Biden. It's time for you to go. Time to impeach Joe Biden. That's all I can say. And for you Democrats, they're in the Senate. If you don't impeach him, then you're just as guilty. I mean, we know we got radicals on both sides. We really do. We got radicals on the right and the left. But the point is just something's got to be done. 2 more years of this? Can we handle 2 more years of this? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. And it's like, but until, we actually do something, to affect, election laws and, things like that, then you know what? The people like him are going to continue to be in there.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know we originally were going to talk about people and their identities and all this, but we'll try to do that maybe later on in the week because this whole, unless something happens with the balloons again or whatever these objects are, and I'm sure they're just balloons, guys. They're just larger and smaller balloons with cameras, different attachments on them, so we'll see. Yep. I mean, who knows? My concern is, if they can't see these balloons, half of them, what happens if something flies over and all of a sudden there is something in there and they release it on part of the population? I don't know.
That's the thing. I mean, it's like, let's just say that the first balloon didn't have anything in it. The second balloon didn't have anything. The more that you let this happen, you never know when something is going to have something.
Right. And this is the reason why Joe Biden needs to get out there and speak to the American people and calm the American people down and say, here's what's going on, here's what we're doing, and explain it. And when the news media goes and ask him, when everybody's asking, the press secretary, all of them, they're not coming up with good answers.
Oh, well, she's even more incompetent than Biden is.
Oh, I know. I heard her the other day. They were speaking with her, and she's like, she couldn't even speak properly. It's like because she doesn't know. They don't give her any information that she should have. I think she's speaking off the hip, and she's trying to cover Joe instead of just saying, guys, what do you want me to do here? Because that's your job to help me out and tell me what to do.
Well, she's not at all good at what she does. She's in that position because she's,
I know,
female, she's black, she's gay. I mean, it's like she checks off a lot of boxes, and it's like, but I mean, especially in the beginning when she would literally sit there and flip through her notebook for answers and then not even find the right one.
Yeah.
And she's just, she's incompetent.
And do you know, guys, why? I mean, the left attacks the they attack the Republicans all the time, or the conservatives. So they attack us all the time. We're homophobic. We're this, we're that. No, actually, we're not. I don't care if you have a lesbian. I don't care what you have in, that position, as long as they're doing a good job. Right. There are situations that we don't need in these positions because obviously, I'll say it this way, I'm going to get yelled at by some of my audience, but if you're a guy dressing as a girl dressing, again, I don't feel that's going to be where you go to another country and you're trying to negotiate with these people in the other country, because you got to remember there's a lot of people out there in other religions and stuff that are looking like, we're not going to take you serious, or we're going to kill you. It depends what country you go to. So I'm just saying you got to have the right people for that too. And God knows I don't want that happening.
Well, I mean, and if you want to talk about respect on the world stage, I mean, we had that guy that dressed like a woman, that, the one that was stealing all the luggage and everything like that. And, and he was a government official. Yes. I mean, it wasn't even like he was just, an American that was famous or something. He was an actual appointee government official. And, I mean, other countries look at stuff like that. So, now that countries are, basically doing what they want and not listening to Biden and not afraid of, upsetting the U.S. and everything like that, that just shows how far we've fallen as far as in the view of the rest of the world.
I know, and it is. I mean, and you talk to a lot of, and I'll say this. Well, I don't want to say, I can't bring things up like that. I was thinking out loud, but look, I'll say it this way. There are a lot of people out there that are gay, and they actually look at these people like, you're being ridiculous. I mean, you are. And a lot of them don't like those people that are doing that. It's like, they're being ridiculous. If you are, that's fine. That's your choice. But to go out there and do all that, and I don't know. Also, I want to mention Cortez yesterday. Apparently, there was a Super Bowl ad talking about Christianity, and she pretty much knocked it. You know what, Cortez? It's your choice if you want to believe in Jesus, God, whatever religion you want to believe in, but don't attack religions. I'm not going to attack religions unless they're out there murdering people and things like that. I mean, we've talked about this. There are radical Christians out there. There are radical Muslims out there. But again, you don't need to be part of that group.
Right.
So, and doing what you did just made you look stupid. So, anyway, what else, Jerry? Anything else for you to say?
Well, I mean, that goes back to this whole, we're more worried about what pronouns our soldiers are using than about actually doing our job and, defending our airspace and, making sure that, other countries aren't violating our international law and things like that. I mean, and, our generals all know about, what pronouns to use and everything like that. But, right now, a lot of them, they're not doing their jobs as far as, protecting our airspace and, taking care of our country and making sure that, our military people are safe and aren't being forced to do stuff like taking vaccines that they shouldn't be taking. And
yeah. Now I know. I don't know. I know the American people, a lot of them are really stressed out and really, I've never seen our country so divided.
Nope.
And I have never seen an administration like Joe Biden and his group divide a country more than I've ever seen anything divided like this.
Nope. He's been very, very bad about that.
That just shows you one thing right there, guys, how much he lies, because he said, I will bring everybody together, but yet he was the one out there running his mouth, knocking the Republicans, knocking everybody constantly. He's doing just the opposite of what he said he was going to do. So he's a liar. So anyway.
Yeah, but he always has been. And like I said, you just got to go back and watch his, Senate days and, you just look at his past and his history, and he's not only lying now, he's always lied.
Yeah. So anyway, this is going to go out there, this podcast tonight. I expect this podcast to possibly be pulled from some of those sites because they don't want you to know the truth. They're giving money to the Democratic Party. They are. And it's usually the ones that actually pull you off these sites. So I will probably be banned from one of the sites again, maybe temporarily, maybe permanently. I know certain sites I won't. Twitter, thank you, Elon Musk, for doing the right thing and showing all the information. Now we got all this stuff going on because the proof's there. So we're seeing that. And oh my gosh, you should see the liberals. Oh, they hate him because the truth's coming out, because they don't want the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They just want to be guided by the radical left, and it's almost as if they're just blind to everything. I don't know. It's the conditioning. I've called it out before. Conditioning.
Yep.
So anyway, we've been on about 30 minutes. We're not going to make a long podcast out of this because I'm going to try to do some more podcasts throughout the week. Hopefully it's not any more about this balloons, and I'm sure there'll be more stuff. But, I would love to say, hey, guess what? Joe Biden's finally on TV. He's finally talking to the American people. But right now, with all this stuff going on out there, where's Joe Biden? All right. So my new slogan will be Fire Joe Biden. That's the new one. All right, Jerry. We're going to end it. Anything else you want to say before we end this?
Nope, that's about it.
Yeah, because there's a lot I could say and a lot more stuff, but those are for other things. I'd rather get on to some other things. We're going to talk about, like I said, people identifying pronouns. We'll be doing that. Maybe tomorrow night, next night, I'll see when Jerry's available for that, although tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So right. I want to bring that up. So, guys, do yourself a favor. Walk away from TV tomorrow. Walk away from all the social media sites tomorrow, unless something major happens, obviously. Go do this. Go out to dinner with your spouse. Go out to dinner and put these cell phones down. Don't carry the cell phone out to dinner, because you know what? When you're with the family member, the person you love, put the cell phone down and then go spend quality time, talk to each other. And that's a strong relationship. And I'll tell you what, my wife and I do that all the time. We go out for date night and we walk away from everything. Guys, I was off podcasts for a while because I was spending time and I wanted to walk away from this for a while because, like all of us, we all get frustrated. I know Jerry does the same thing with his wife. They go out, they have fun, and they've been together many, 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 many years. That is how to make a strong marriage. You work and work and work together on it. Nothing is like a fairy tale, and marriage does take work. But it's interesting because when you're strong at it and you love each other, and guess what? Everything's perfect. You're always going to have your arguments, but I tell my wife that all the time. But you know what? She knows I'm always right. Oh, did I say that? Oh, she's going to get me on this one. Oh, gosh. No, I'm not always right. She tells me once in a while. She told me tonight on something. But anyway, you gotta let him win once in a while. Exactly. I gotta let her win once in a while, right, Jerry?
Yep.
I hope she doesn't listen to this podcast tonight, because there will not be Valentine's Day for me tomorrow.
Yeah, that's funny.
I know. All right. Well, all right. I'll talk to you guys later, and I want to say thanks for our military for everything you guys do. Thanks for our first responders for everything you guys do. Thanks for our farmers for everything you guys do, our truck drivers, and our law enforcement. Guys, we know you're going through a lot out there in our military. I know a lot of you are pounding your heads on the walls going, what in the heck is going on? Some of you may, and there may be some stuff going on that we understand that it's top secret and we don't need to know. And I agree with that. That's fine, because if we know, it's going to put our, we want to keep our military protected and everybody else. But again, we have to have some answers on things. So not just everybody sitting in the dark going, what's going on? All right, guys, God bless you. God bless America. Have a great night, and we'll be talking with you a day or two. Take care. Thanks for listening. Bye.